Ever sit on a Sunday and think, why am I so tired? All I did today was fart. Oh yes. And here's the part no one tells you. Your exhaustion probably doesn't have much to do with what you did and everything to do with all the super secret work your autistic brain is constantly doing behind the scenes. Invisible, stealthy, ninja-like, even to you. Let's talk about 6 things that drain you, even when you're doing nothing. And the last 2 seem unavoidable, constant, and so misunderstood. Let's dive in. Sensory overload. Let's start with everyone's favorite, being attacked by the environment. Now, I don't like the idea of being labeled sensitive, which many of us who are autistic are. We aren't too sensitive. We're a walking sensory surveillance system. Most people stroll through the world like life is great. Go into an airport like, what a great day for flying. Oh, better check into my flight. But if you're like me, you walk in and go, someone's dog took a dump in here yesterday. Oh. And you're right. True story. Smelled it for myself. Thanks a lot, Montreal Airport. Or you step into an elevator and instantly get hit with 8 competing smells and a mouthful of stale, hot air. Everyone else is fine. You're trying not to scream or drip sweat everywhere in what seems like a 4-hour elevator ride. And a little side note here, but I know while you're sitting in that elevator, you're just praying that the thing doesn't stop. You're watching those numbers tick by and squeezing every freaking muscle in your body, willing it to keep going. Because a stop means more people. And that's why I always take the escalator. Your brain isn't filtering. It's absorbing everything, constantly. It's like an ongoing battery drain. You go from 100% to 2% in minutes. And that's just from existing. And it's not just the smells. It's brightness, flickering lights, buzzing lights, people talking, people breathing too loudly, people blinking too much. Not sure about that last one. Your brain is processing everything. You might look calm, but your nervous system is burning energy like crazy. And we're all different with our sensory profiles. So you might be super sensitive with some things and hyposensitive with others. Might not even notice some sensory input, but it doesn't mean your body isn't processing them later. You just might not realize the impacts until the crash. Not understanding your own energy levels. Here's where things get really sneaky. It's hard to manage your energy when you can't feel your energy. A lot of autistic and ADHD people struggle with interoception and alexithymia. Basically, we might struggle to notice body cues, and we also struggle to identify feelings and emotions. There's a disconnect between the body and brain. Your body might feel things, but your brain goes, I'll get back to you on that one, and never does. Thanks a lot, brain. Plenty more where that came from. So you might only notice 2 stages. I'm feeling okay. And I am not feeling okay. But there is a middle stage, a warning stage. Your brain just isn't getting the notifications. And although it's pretty darn frustrating, it's especially common to miss this when you didn't even know you were autistic and trained yourself to just push through. That's how you end up agreeing to things you absolutely do not have the energy for. Or thinking you're going to use your weekends to recover, but that's the only time you have for your special interest. So you hyperfocus and barely sleep. You keep going, you keep pushing, and then shutdown or meltdown. It might look sudden, but it wasn't. You just didn't notice or pause long enough to adjust. That's why we talk a lot about getting to know your own energy. And it's also why we made a free energy tracker to help you get started. You gotta understand your unique brain and how your energy connects to everything around it. If not, you're gonna continue to have these problems. The tracker is key to helping you start. Links in the description. Sleep issues. Sleep is supposed to be restorative, right? Not so simple when you're neurodivergent. Apparently, bedtime is the perfect time for my brain to say, let's deep dive into every uncomfortable situation we've ever had for the last 40 years. And a running to-do list for the next 5 months. Oh, and I'm going to need to look at that urgent question of how many earth bricks it takes to hold up the biggest home shark tank ever. You call this thing a pillow? No. This is ear pain and back pain. And we're not going to do it. And that's not to mention that sleep is often really vivid and not restful. You wake up feeling like you fought a bear in your dreams. And no, that's not just me. Sleep challenges are well documented in autistic and ADHD kids, with up to 80% struggling with sleep disturbances or insomnia. And those are kids. Less years of poor sleep so far, less stress from being an adult and things like work obligations. So that doesn't go away. Research into autistic adults, particularly those diagnosed in adulthood, are ongoing. But studies already show that autistic adults get less restorative sleep than non-autistic adults, especially with co-occurring ADHD. We also wake up more throughout the night and take longer to fall asleep, so we're rarely back to 100% by the morning. And when we have rough nights of sleep, we're not waking up rested because our nervous system's never clocked out. And then we stress about not getting sleep, and we ruminate over that. Oh, I'm exhausted just thinking about sleep. So sleep restores other people, but it can be stressful when you're autistic. And for me, it's not only all of the sleep difficulties, it's also linked to number 4. Physical discomfort. Co-occurring medical and mental health issues are so common for autistic adults, and a lot of them mean physical discomfort or pain. Things like hypermobility, skin issues, food sensitivities, having to deal with the aftermath of something sneaking into your food and causing chaos in your stomach. Many of us don't even realize the extent of food's impact on our brains. The brain fog, irritability, fatigue because of certain foods. More on that in other videos, but many autistic people have restrictive eating habits. Discomfort from how our bodies react to certain foods is probably why. And then, trying to explain these conditions to medical professionals who don't understand autistic communication. The triple empathy issue means the doctor doesn't get you. You don't get the doctor. And with different processing time, you forgot to mention the 17 things you went there for. Only got time for one. And 4 hours later, you're feeling like you both got that one wrong too. And don't forget that stress and anxiety hurts your body. The world is stressful for us. So anxiety is one of the most common co-occurring issues for neurodivergent adults. For me, and a lot of us, it shows up as pain. Tight shoulders? Buddy, my shoulders haven't relaxed since I was 5. I can't even lift my head some days. Clenched jaw? Oh yes. Add tooth grinding to the list too. And don't forget the stomach issues. And the worst part, you might not even notice the pain anymore. It's your default. You've trained yourself to push through. But chronic pain is exhausting for anyone, and your body keeps the score. So even if other people say, dude, you seem fine, or
you just need some rest,
they don't know. And it's hard for them to understand, just like the next 2 on this list. Interruptions and changes to routines. You know those tiny interruptions that other people shrug off? Oh, you have a quick question? Yeah, sure. Yeah, now I'm free. Okay, yeah, just pop in anytime and we'll figure it out. Yep, other people might shrug those off, but autistic people usually don't. Someone interrupts you mid-thought and your brain doesn't pause. It crashes or stays stuck in that moment. So it takes you a minute to reload, or you don't and your instinct is to leave and then crash and hide or have a meltdown. That's why restrictive behavior is a key trait of autism. But a lot of people think that's not being flexible. But how about just liking to know what's coming? Because otherwise your internal plan collapses. Kind of like someone removed the bottom piece that's holding up a Jenga tower that's actually your brain. And now you're expected to roll with it. So you can, but it takes energy. Lots of mental energy. Autistic brains crave prediction and structure. Your brain wants to know what's next. You have plans, even if you're spontaneous sometimes and you throw your own plans off. Happens a lot if you also have ADHD. But those changes can feel more manageable when you're the one doing them. And sometimes you'll still crash, even if it was your idea. So when you're in the middle of something and someone interrupts you, your energy doesn't dip, it crashes. It's like being yanked out of your own head mid-thought. And when plans change unexpectedly, you're rebuilding your entire plan for the day. And that takes energy most people don't even know exists. Little disruptions aren't little. And that's because we process things differently. Knowing can help you understand why it exhausts you. Masking. And the final reason you're always exhausted? Masking. We have other videos on that I'll link below, and more coming. But understanding masking is crucial, especially if you learn you're autistic as an adult. It's way more than trying to fit in. It's pretending you're okay as you navigate an overstimulating, confusing, and dysregulating world, while also hiding those struggles and suppressing your autistic tendencies, like stimming. Your body wants to regulate, Your brain wants to fly under the radar. Those two things battle. In communication, if you're in an environment where you feel like you need to mask, it's a full performance. You're analyzing tone, timing, pauses, facial expressions, body language, implied meanings, and trying to keep up with all of that in real time. Masking makes everything harder. It's why easy days knock you out. It's why doing things on weekends can be even more draining than a full 40-hour work week. And it's a huge reason why you're always exhausted, even when you didn't really do anything. Learning about your autistic needs is really key. We've got tons more within our Auticate membership to help you with that. But start first with the energy tracker. You're probably masking in spots where you might not even realize it yet. So if you're always exhausted, no matter how much you sleep or rest, this could be why. Your brain and body are doing a lot of work, exhausting work, even if no one else can see it. But luckily, there are adjustments you can make. We've got a lot on the way about that, so don't forget to subscribe. And tell us, which of these hit hardest? What would you add? Drop those in the comments. And if you want more about your unique brain, watch this one next.